Spotting the Signals, Identifying Your Emotional Eating Patterns. In this chapter, we will pivot our focus onto a very personal journey of self-discovery, the identification of your emotional eating patterns. Recognizing your unique emotional triggers is a crucial step towards breaking free from the grasp of emotional eating. Let's start by acknowledging that emotional eating is a behavior that is repeated, often subconsciously. Like any habit, it follows a pattern, and these patterns are unique to each individual. You may find yourself reaching for comfort food when you're feeling down, or perhaps overindulging during periods of stress or anxiety. To identify your emotional eating patterns, you need to become an observer of your behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. Keep a food and mood diary for a while. This doesn't need to be overly detailed. Jotting down a few key things will suffice. Record what you eat, when you eat, and most importantly, how you're feeling when you reach for food. Over time, you'll start to see connections and patterns emerge. These patterns might be linked to certain times of the day. For instance, do you find yourself snacking late at night, even when you're not physically hungry? They can also be associated with specific emotions or events. Do you overeat when you're feeling stressed or after a tough day at work? Or buy yourself a treat when you feel you have accomplished some important task? Understanding your triggers is key to breaking the cycle of emotional eating. Is it boredom, loneliness, stress, or perhaps anxiety that usually sets you off? By recognizing these triggers, you can begin to develop alternative coping strategies that don't involve food. Remember, emotional eating isn't really about food. It's about emotions. The food is merely a symptom. The real problem lies in how we're handling our emotions. By identifying your emotional eating patterns, you're taking a significant step towards addressing the root cause of the problem. Now, I want to leave you with an exercise for this chapter. Spend the next week keeping a food and mood diary. Observe your eating habits without judgment. Simply note down what you're eating, when, and your feelings at the time. Try to pinpoint any patterns or triggers, and remember, this is a process of self-discovery, not self-criticism.